Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our online class. So, here we continue with the short story A Gorilla in the Guest Room. So, in the previous video, we have discussed that how actually Gerald Durrell used to convince his wife, telling her that he is going to find some sources and he will be finding those sources from the islanders, okay, where they are spending a lot of their money for the sake of entertainment, and he will be asking them for the funding purpose. Okay, so today we'll be continuing from page number 75 of your textbook. Please keep your textbook along with the video for your better understanding. So here finally, his wife gets annoyed when she comes to know that they don't have sufficient fund or money in their bank, and how they will be convincing the bank manager. So far as a and they were discussing all these matters. So Gerald tells her and convince her by saying this. I shall get the money from the other sources. So he says that you need not worry about the funding or the money. I'll be trying to get it from other sources. I said austerely, don't you realize that this island is infested with the rich people who do nothing all day but revolve from one cocktail party to another like a set of Japanese waltzing mice? So he says that you don't know that this island is full of those type of people who, whole time they spend their money, time, effort, everything in partying, right? Everywhere they are just doing party and they are spending, so I'll be trying to collect the money from them. I'll ask them to contribute for some good cause. Protecting animals, conserving animals is a very great job, and at the same time it needs a lot of effort and also the money for that. So he says that I asked them to contribute the money for this good cause. That's an even stupider idea than saying you will have the gorilla in the first place, said Jackie. Jackie is actually the wife of Gerald Durrell, and she says that, oh, that's really a very stupidest idea of you. That you do you think that they will be paying the money just to buy a gorilla? And ignoring my wife's pessimistic and antisocial outlook, I picked up the telephone and asked for a number. Hello, hello, Hope. Gary here. So finally, actually he knew that his wife is not at all interested in all this animal conservation or neither spending the money for that purpose, and she is not that having that social outlook. What do you mean by social outlook? It means having that hospitality of taking care of the animals and all. She don't have that, and she is very very pessimistic. What do you mean by pessimistic? It is the opposite word of the optimistic. Optimistic means one who is very very confident about what they can do, and pessimistic is just opposite to that, those who don't have the confidence at all, and always before they even make a try they think, oh, it's not possible for me, that's not meant for me. है ना, क्लास में जब ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभी मैम बोलती है या सर बोलते हैं, कम ऑन गिव अ स्पीच और सिंग अ सॉन्ग, तो बस नहीं 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 मैं नहीं मुझसे नहीं होगा मेरा, एंड ऑलवेज यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन टेकिंग द नेम ऑफ अदर्स रादर देन यू मेक एन अटेम्प्ट, इजंट इट? मुझसे नहीं होगा, नो नो, आई एम नॉट द पर्सन, आई एम नॉट दैट टाइप, प्लीज डोंट आस्क मी. So these kind of expressions normally you give because you already before attempting you do think that it's not possible for you. Okay, so Jackie is also having this kind of pessimistic and antisocial outlook. So that is why as Gerald Durrell already knew this very well, so he don't go for a kind of argument, or he don't put more effort on convincing her regarding this matter. Okay, and he says that I shall ask, and he just takes the telephone and he dials some number, and he just says, hello, Hope. Jerry here. Hope is actually the name of one of the friend of Gerald Durrell, and he says that Jerry here, and hello, said Hope resignedly. Means the call from the back. It came. What can I do for you? So, normally when we do call a person, whether it's a friend or whether it's a relative, okay, we don't follow or keep these etiquettes. Okay, they simply call, hello, yeah, then you just directly come to the point what you are talking about. So very rarely we see that people follow these etiquettes like, what can I do for you, what should I do for you, how may I help you. Okay, these type of questions, but in Western countries whether you're calling to even a father calling to a son, or a daughter calling to a mother, they will be asking this, very basic etiquette. We also have this, conversational etiquette, telephone etiquette, etc. So many of them even don't greet each other. Okay, like you're calling your friend, hi yaar kya ho, in that tone you will be speaking. Oh yeah, how's it, what's this and that, you will be communicating, but you won't greet like good morning, how are you, how's your day, like how's your day went, or how are you doing. So this type of normal questions you just avoid, but it should be done. Okay, so we can see, and in Western countries, people always maintain these kind of etiquettes, even though they are communicating on the telephone. So that is why your hope says that I want you to give me, Gary says that, oh, what can I do for you? And Gary says that I want you to give me a list of all the richest people on the island. Okay, so he says that, Hope, actually, I want you to give me the list of all those, call list of all those, phone number list of all those richest people on this island. All the richest people, said Hope in bewilderment. And his friend Hope did not actually understand what is Gary talking about, or why he's asking me the list of the phone numbers of all the richest people on this island. Okay, seems to be something confusing. Bewilderment means perplexed, confused. Now what are you up to? And he knew very well, best friends always knew each other very well. So he says that, now what are you up to? What's going on in your mind? What's your next plan? All the richest people, said Hope. Well, I have just been offered a baby gorilla at a very reasonable price. So he says that, nothing, yeah, nothing, big deal. Actually, I have been offered a baby gorilla by one of the animal dealer, and the price seems to be very reasonable. 1200 pounds only, and not much. 1200 pounds. And only I don't happen to have 1200, but at this moment I don't have the 1200 pounds. So I would like to collect some money for that. So the rest of my sentence was drowned by Hope's rich laughter. And as soon as he said 1200 pounds, at the moment, on the opposite side on the telephone, he heard a very loud laughter from his friend Hope. And as a result of that, Gary was not even able to complete his communication, right? And he says that, so you hope to get the wealthy of the island to buy it for you? Oh, then you are expecting that all these wealthy islanders will be buying this gorilla for you for 1200 pounds? Okay, it was been said that, and Gary, really, you are dotty means you are foolish. Okay, I don't see what's wrong with the idea, I protested. And Gary on the phone again, he said that, no, what's wrong? Why are you laughing like this? What's wrong in this idea? People are not concerned about animals. They are not having heart. They are not having, this kind of sense of taking care of the animals, protecting them. What's wrong if my idea is to collect from them? They should be glad to contribute towards buying such a rare creature. They should be very glad that I am going to protect a extinct creature, isn't it? Okay. After all, if breeding colonies of things like gorillas aren't established in captivity soon, there won't be any left at all. And he says that, I am purchasing this gorilla just not for keeping in the zoo and having fun. No, I'm just doing it a good cause, a good purpose, a good reason is there behind that. That is that I am protecting the breed of this particular species to continue in coming time, isn't it? I'm stopping them from getting extinct. So that is my intention, and my intention is quite good. And if people come to know the good intention behind this, obviously I'm sure that they will be helping me. So Gary was so confident in actually, that people will have this kind of mentality in taking care or helping of the animals. But on the other side, his friend Hope was feeling like his friend has gone mad and crazy, and he is not having any kind of expectation that people will be helping, or this idea of Gerald Dural is going to work. So he says, I'm afraid they don't, said Hope. So I'm again, this is another phrase, I'm afraid. they don't. It doesn't literally mean that I'm really afraid of something. It is when you are in a conversation, you disagree with another person or opposite person, what he communicates or she communicates, then we'll be using this phrase, I am afraid. Suppose I want to say that what you are saying is wrong, okay, so then I can use this phrase like, I'm afraid that your idea is not working, okay. So it's a very polite way of expressing and unannoying way of telling that, okay, I don't agree with you. Okay, if you simply say, oh, it's not going to work, I don't agree with you, in that sense, if you say, like, the opposite person may feel bad. But if you say that, I'm afraid that idea is not going to work, if you say like that, you feel like you, with respect, you are actually disagreeing with that person, okay. So here he says that, I'm afraid they don't, said Hope. I realize it and you realize it, but I'm afraid the average person either doesn't or couldn't care less. So finally, his friend Hope gives his opinion by telling that, an average person, if you think from the average person's point of view, don't you think that is it literally a big cause that they spend and contribute the money? If you are collecting the money to save the life of a human being or any sick person, there might be little bit of chances that they could have contributed. But this thing, I don't think that anyone will be interested. I suppose you're right, I said gloomily. Means very, then when normally it happens, when you are so confident of doing something and your best friend says that it's not going to work. So normally what happens, you yourself feel ignored, and at the same time you feel like, yeah, what he's telling is right, I should not go for that, I should not try. You feel a kind of, withdrawing yourself from that. And the same thing happens with the Gary also, and says that, yeah, I think he's right, Hope is speaking correct, okay. And he's feeling sad anyway, I think it's worth a try. But still he says that, what's wrong in trying, isn't it? What's wrong in trying? We always ignore the things, we always step ahead, step back, even without giving a try. So Gerald Durrell here says that, I know, I think it's a worth. What's the problem in trying? Let me contact the people and at least have a talk, isn't it? It's like, if I get, it's a great thing. If I lose, nothing is going to lose, right? At least people come to know that I have good intentions regarding taking care of animals or conservation of the animals, okay. So I hope that you understood this much part. So keep reading along with your textbook. We will continue in the next video. Have a wonderful time.